Hello fellow simmers, it's Samuel Beeman of BLS here, and welcome to my first Train Simulator Classic video in quite some time. And today we're going to be looking at a scenario which is included with our West Somerset Railway Class 14 D9526 reskin pack with scenarios, which has recently been released on the British Locomotive Studios website for you to download. This was a pack that I contributed towards. It was one that I basically started doing after seeing a video on YouTube regarding the Class 14. It's a review video, which I will link in the description of the video as it happens, just so you guys can have a look at it. It's a very interesting video. It's done very nicely. It's very, very well edited. And it's made by a channel which was originally named the Train Spotter of Tundua or something like that, but he's now gone with a different name, and the name actually does escape me, but don't worry, I will find it. But yeah, so this scenario is called Shunting at Williton, and basically we are tasked to move a group of goods wagons from Williton North Siding to Roughmore Road for inspection. And then we have to move a couple of diesel locomotives to another location as well. So I've got the YouTube channel now up here. So it's actually DC4260 Productions. He was originally the Train Spotter of Tundua. But yeah, so I'll link his video in the description of the video. So I started this pack after seeing that, as he actually mentioned how there is a lack of reskins of the Class 14. And also he did actually give us a mention within his video regarding our Maroon Class 14 reskin pack, and how we kind of revamped those and re-released those. Because bear in mind, both the Maroon Class 14s and the Class 14s that come within this pack were originally intended for a much bigger pack in 2021, which was the Class 14 Reskin Mega Pack, for those of you who had probably seen it in the past. This was sadly never finished. This was something that we were doing with John Astley, and it just never got finished. So basically what we're doing now is occasionally redoing, sort of remaking certain reskins that were meant to be released with that pack and revamping them to a more modern standards, because back then our reskinning skills were just not as good as what you see today. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into actually, working and playing the scenario. So, as you can see here, we've got a brief, and it says, "Good morning, you are our driver for the shunt today. Our task is to move a group of goods wagons from Williton North Siding to Roughmore Road for inspection. We shall then be tasked to move a few of the resident diesel locomotives. First things first, make your way to Williton North Siding and couple to the group of wagons. Remember, some of these points are manually operated." Okay, so without further ado, let's unpause our game and get straight back into this. Okay, so here we are with the Class 14. So there's two Class 14s that come with this pack. So you've got the blue circle cement guys, which we're actually driving right now. And we've also got a preserved BR green variant as well with the pack. But the main centerpiece is actually this blue circle cement guys of D9526, which it does actually carry occasionally, these cabside logos, but it's not all the time basically. But yeah, so it's a very nice reskin. I think we've done quite a good job on this. So this was actually a collaboration project with Lewis Brown, who helped me upscale the textures for the cabsides, so the cabside logos actually look HD. And then we've got obviously the photo textured rods, which were also done by Lewis as well. So yeah, me and Lewis Brown contributed towards this pack, and yeah, we did a good job, I reckon, just considering what it is. But yeah, anyway, so we'll set our lights up. So we're going in reverse, so we need the reverse lights. Loco brake on. Let's check our lights in the front. Yep, we're all good. And when we're ready, we can depart. So release the brake. And now the gradient should do the work for us. We should start rolling soon. There we are. So what we will do as well is check our points ahead of us, because the chances are they're not set. Yeah, they're set against us, so we change those. So that's another thing with this. So this is one of the more difficult scenarios that come with the pack. You need to be careful with all the manual points and make sure they're all set correctly. Perfect. Couple of those. Now connected to the wagons, we can't just simply move these into Roughmore Road, as we'll be boxed in. So what we are going to have to do is move the wagons into Williton down platform, uncouple and then run round the train. Depart when ready for the down platform. Right. So we're now going to set up our lights for the frontward direction. Make sure our point is set. There we go. So yeah, granted, Class 14 in-train simulator is not the best. It's an ex-IHH model, which has been re-released by Dovetail Games. The sounds are just not brilliant, they're very outdated and just not the best. The model itself is not 100% accurate because the head code boxes are actually too short and actually too squashed inwards. They should be taller. They're not the correct. They're not correct size. So the model does have some issues. The sounds are not the best, but the best that we can possibly do with this, as it stands, and what we have at the moment, in the means of Class 14 content for Train Simulator Classic, is just making reskins for it. Just to somewhat make it a little bit more appealing, and to improve it ever so slightly, but other than that there's not really much you can do with this model. We have tried on previous occasions to create stuff like sound mods, enhancement packs towards this locomotive, but it just wasn't physically possible. We just couldn't do anything with it. It's how the sounds have been scripted on it. It's just not brilliant. So you can hear here it has that sound, that idle sound there. Well, basically what the sounds consist of is just that idle sound being sped up when you apply power. So it's basically, in a sense, one sound which is just sped up depending on how much power you give to it. So yeah, the scripting on the sounds are just terrible, really. It's just not the best. You can't do a lot with this. The only thing you can really do is, as I say, is reskins or child objected stuff on. That is the best what you're going to be able to do with this, until miraculously somebody comes along and perhaps makes a new one, but chances of that happening, quite slim. Okay, just dump the brake. So we should be within the station limits. Yep, we are. So we need to uncouple this set. He says. There we go. All clear to proceed to Williton South Home. Halt here and wait further instructions. Excellent. So we can depart when ready. So yeah, with this reskin, so as I say, we did the decal on the side of the cab, we did the photo textured rods. We also made some improvements to the wash stripes as well and the buffer beam, so you will see that it looks more, you can see it better, it's more clear, it's more cleaner, more preserved looking, so there was some modifications on that front as well. So this pack is intended for use with the West Somerset Railway Members Edition version 3 route, which is an ex-Steam Sound Supreme route, now hosted over at the British Locomotive Studios website. I'll also link that in the description of the video as well, so if you guys want to pick that up, then you're more than welcome to. So it's intended for use alongside that, obviously with it being a West Somerset Railway resident loco. Adds 5 new scenarios to the route. We've got 4 for the Class 14 itself in the 2 different liveries, and we also have a bonus scenario with 47077 North Star, which comes with the North York Moors route. So obviously now we've got our instruction complete. It says here that once the signal is clear, you can run through the up platform to Williton North Home. You may tab the signal to gain permission to proceed. So yes, so some of the signals on this route you do have to tab. It's just how it works. Not really much else that we can do with that. So we'll put ourselves into reverse again, change ends, and we'll just tab the signal to get permission to proceed through the platform. There we go. Once again, we'll have to tab this signal to proceed. There we go. Now got a clear. Okay, once again you may tab the signal. Once done and the signal is clear, or you have the all clear to proceed, coupled to the wagons again into this down platform. Okay. So we're going to tab this. Request to pass signal danger approved. Excellent. Put something forward. Quick 2 on the horn. Apply some power and release the brake. So a must-have for these scenarios is the Armstrong Powerhouse Sky and Weather Enhancement Pack, along with the Cloud Enhancement Pack. So those are 2 essential requirements for the scenarios that come with this Locomotive Reskin pack. All of the scenario requirements can be found within the Locomotive's manual. One thing I have noticed, having played Train Sim World 5 recently, Train Sim Classic actually runs a lot smoother than Train Sim World 5, in my opinion. And yeah, I am a little bit disappointed with how Train Sim World 5 is running. I never used to get issues with Train Sim World 4, so I really do think they've had a downgrade in performance on that. Up. Okay. All clear to go in. Couple that up. All coupled. Excellent. Now make your way to Williton North siding again. Well, we should propel the train into Roughmore Yard. Well, Roughmore siding. Roughmore Road. I will get it right one day. Okay, so we've got the red markers on there now. Got a green signal, but have we got the road? We do. Excellent. So, off we go then. So obviously this is quite a slow-paced scenario, obviously because we're shunting. Lots of things to be aware of, lots of things to check. It's definitely one of the harder scenarios within the pack. I say that word a lot within these videos, I do apologise guys. Pack, you know. There should be a video made of how many times I say the word pack in the BLS YouTube videos. It would be entertaining to see how many times I've said that, and it'd just be quite a funny meme video. Got no tail lamp on the back of the brake van, which is a bit concerning, but you know, I thought it would be automated, but I mean, these are older gen West Somerset Railway wagons, so No, I didn't want to do that. A bit too much braking force there. Because you want to be pretty much right up near the buffers. So the rear of our train is clear of the point, which it is. Make sure the road is set into Roughmore Road, and move the wagons into the siding. Once happy, uncouple from the wagons and make your way into Williton North siding once again. Right. Our road should be now set. So what we'll do is we'll climb into the brake van here to shunt it into the siding. It's obviously the more easier way of doing things. So we're now acting out as the guard, who would be hand signalling us onto the, or into the siding. So theoretically we should be this side. Wait, no. This side. Yeah, it's quite a difficult one because of the shed being in the way, so yeah. It'll be interesting to find out how they do this in real life. And there we are. All clear. All clear to proceed towards the north side. Them old brake sounds though. Classic Kuju era. Now we need to move 2 Class 33s from the goods shed to 3 resident Class 35 Hymec D9017. The Hymec is to be used on our diesel trains these coming weeks. When ready, move over to Williton goods and connect to the diesel locomotives. Right. Now we need to make sure our road is set. Now this next bit is an interesting one for anyone who wishes to play this scenario. There is a set of points where you can't, you can't operate from the map view, and I'll show you how to change them in a minute. We do have a red on the disc shunt, so should need to tab. There we go. Got green or a white in this case. So we are going to need to stop again just outside this point. Right. So to switch this point, we'll need to click on the point motor to change it. And yeah, that now sets us into the correct road. Okay. Now connected, uncouple D9526 from the train and move D6575 to Roughmore Road. Okie dokie. Make your way to Williton North Siding. You have the all clear. Excellent, we've got tails. Yeah, so once again with this we'll need to be careful of signals. We do have a white on the shunt, which is a good sign. So we should be able to leave when ready. 33 is on the move. That's quite a nice picture. That's something else that's quite annoying about this, is you can only turn at a certain degree angle at this point with the 14 cab. Can be quite irritating. It's a 5-passenger view to get a nice, better view of inside here. So we will have to change these points again for Roughmore Road. Oh yes, look at that 33, very nice. Reverse D9525 into Roughmore Road and uncouple. Okay, so now this is where it's going to get quite tricky, because the track on this route isn't the best, because it was laid by DTG. Going into Roughmore Road is very, very sketchy with this, and you'll see it in just a moment. So what we'll do, we'll start reversing the 33 into Roughmore Road, and just see how this goes, really. Right, off we go. We'll have a buffer lock. It is going to happen. Like that. So, in this instance, yeah, we're not quite in Roughmore Road yet, so we want to move outwards slightly, loosen the tension. I did do this before. I have completed this. Evidently it's not working on my side at the minute. Of course, when it comes down to doing the video, it doesn't work. We uncouple and couple up again, might be able to There we go. It's done it now. Yeah, so basically when that happens, you've just kind of got to bear with it and have a little mess around. I mean, it's not ideal, but there's no other way I could have done this because the track is a bit dodge. But there you go. Now uncouple, make your way to Williton North siding again and await instructions. Yeah, you can see just how tight it is around there. My original intention was to have it to go into one of these sidings here, or the 33, but because of how the markers have been set out in the route, you can't do that. So the markers are like too... yeah, they just... you just can't do it. So that was the best way of doing it, unfortunately, but there we go. Now we are to move D9526 from the Goodshed Road into Williton Diesel Depot, Road 1. When ready, navigate to the Goodshed Road and couple the locomotives again. Okay. Really, this track round here really wants relaying, but lucky I remembered to tab that shunt there as we were approaching it. So yeah, you really do need to watch out for shunting signals on this scenario. It is quite challenging. Also, especially with that messing about with the 33, which, as I say, it's not ideal, but there was no other way of doing it. Because as well, I was exploring possibly the idea of putting the 33 into one of these sidings here where the Western is, but then I noticed that you can't do it without going through the shed. Like, you literally have to crash through the shed, and it's just, yeah, it's naff. So for D9017 from our train, and then proceed to move D6566 into Williton Diesel Depot 1. Okie dokie. Move D6566 into Williton Diesel Depot 1, and then uncouple. Excellent. So once again, the shunt is set against us, so we're going to have to tab that. And now it's clear. Point. Here we are. And now we shall reverse the train into the siding. Okay, so with this we need to reverse it literally right up against the shed pretty much, so that it registers that we uncouple. Again, the markers in the sidings aren't really long enough. So, yeah, shunting scenarios at Williton are not really ideal. To be honest, probably places that are better for shunting scenarios are at Minehead and Bishop's Lydiard. But obviously since I started this already, there's no point of fucking about with that, so... It's a shame because Williton is actually the main depot, so it's kind of annoying how the track layout is so bad. There we go. Why is it expired? I did do a tab. Oh well. Fantastic work, driver. We're nearly done. Make your way over to Williton North Siding once more. This is where we're going to start putting the train to bed now. Tab signal. Excellent. So yeah guys, so while you're watching this video, just have a think and comment something in the comments of the video, because I'll be really interested to find out if you like the Class 14 reskins, if you would like us to do any more for Train Sim Classic. So yeah, let us know in the comments if you'd like to see any more Class 14 reskins released. And if you've got this pack, let us know. We're always open for feedback. If there's any improvements that you think needed doing, then please let us know. Construction complete. When ready, move the Class 14 into Williton, Swindon Shed Road 1, where we started. Okay, so we'll need to change our point again. Make sure our route is set into the siding, and then we can start going. And there we are. We'll dump our brakes, switch the lights off, put our reverser into 0, and shut the locomotive down. And there you have it, folks. So that is our look at the shunting around Williton scenario for the West Somerset Railway D9526 Class 14 reskin pack. If you enjoyed this and are interested in giving it a go yourself, please do download the pack. Obviously, as stated at the beginning, it includes the Blue Circle Cement guys for D9526, along with an preserved BR Green version of D9526. All the numbers are preset, so as soon as you place the locomotive down, they're all preset to the locomotive, along with the head codes, although you can modify, alter and change the head codes or the numbering if you please. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll link the pack in the description of the video so you can go and download it, and I'll also link the route in the description as well, so you can also have a look and download that. And yeah, as well as that, I will also place DC420's Productions YouTube channel in the description as well. DC4260 Productions, sorry, his YouTube channel. Oh dear, not with it today, am I? And yeah, and you can go and have a look at that, and have a look at his excellent review of the Class 14s. So thank you for watching, guys. It's been Sammy Beeman of BLS. I'll just quickly unpause the game so we can see the message saying that scenario is complete. Fantastic work, driver. You have moved a rake of wagons into Roughmore Road and freed Class 35 D7017 in preparation for this week's diesel services, which will run alongside one of our resident steam locomotives. Thank you for your services. You are now free to go about your business. Isn't that nice? So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in another video. Goodbye for now.